Hey everybody, Justice Arstone here. Today, talking about The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. When you read the description of The Night Circus, it essentially says that it's the story about two magicians, Celia and Marco, that are set against each other in a battle of wits and magic in order to outdo one another. The competition having been set in motion by two older wizards, Celia's father and Marco's, what would you call him, his guardian. The two of them wagering that they can teach their student better and to see which student is able to come out on top in the end. The Night Circus does tell you that it's a love story, which it is. Now, this book's been getting a lot of, I've seen some mixed reviews about the book. I would have to think that mixed reviews are mainly because people aren't getting what they expect. Thanks to things like The Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter, I think when a lot of people hear the words dueling magicians or sorcerers or any such thing that comes with magic and conflict, they assume that it will be an all-out battle of spells, that two magicians will face off against one another, casting an assortment of spells, one after the other, in the attempt to destroy their opponent. That's not at all how the Night Circus works. And in some ways, because of it, it's actually a better novel. The Night Circus is about beauty. The Night Circus is about emotion. The Night Circus is about appealing to your childhood dreams that magic exists. And while some people complain that there is not a definitive plot line, that may be true. In reality, I think what you have to understand, and the way that I interpret the book, is that the Night Circus itself is the main character, or the Cirque de Rêve, as it is called in the book itself, the Circus of Dreams. It is the main character in this story. It's the story of how it's born, how it evolves, and how it nearly meets its end. And we see that story through the eyes of the characters that are involved with the circus, whether it be Celia and Marco, who use their magic to enhance the circus, to create unique tents and unique experiences, or whether it's the promoter and his circle of friends that brought the money, that helped design the costumes, that helped create the marketing. In essence, the circus is the central idea and the central theme, and we see how that theme and how those ideas permeate and affect everybody that surrounds the circus. I think what's most important about the book and what appealed to me the most was the imagery of it. All too often in novels, I find that imagery can be heavy-handed. You can read paragraph after paragraph of exposition about what something looks like, about a location, and instead of involving you in the world, it actually makes you feel over-encumbered. It actually makes you feel too heavy, and it makes the narrative bog down. In contrast, the Night Circus manages not to do that. I think what's key to all of this is Erin Morgenstern's use of language. Unlike other authors where repeated phrases, repeated ideas, repeated descriptions can actually become a glaring issue, such as 300 uses of the description of eyes in 500 pages of Twilight. I never noticed that with the Night Circus. Every experience that somebody had in touch with the circus, in touch with the magic surrounding the circus, always seemed unique. It always seemed to be expressed in a unique way for that character. In this way, it brought the circus more to life, and it also brought the characters and their experiences more to life. It's very clear that this is not a book that is a hero's journey where every single chapter is a compartmentalized linear progression from one to the other. Instead, each chapter is almost a vignette, a small moment in time for a particular character, to express and show and demonstrate a particular moment. And I find that it's, for this story in particular, that it's a really effective and beautiful way of telling the story. The Night Circus in a lot of ways is more of an experience of a book as opposed to strictly a reading experience. You have to allow yourself to be open to it. You have to allow your imagination to truly run wild. I think that one of the key things here is that it is a circus, that the circus speaks of freedom, and the circus has an element of magic as well. I recall being a boy, and we would go past a certain part of town, and suddenly the tents would be up. And it was almost like it had just magically appeared there, because I wasn't present in that location at all times, and I didn't see them put it up. I would just, one day, the parking lot was empty, and the next day there's the tents. And there is sort of that idea of magic, and that idea that it just suddenly appears from nowhere, and you wonder, how did it come? And this book really plays with those images, and I think it makes it very powerful. Reading The Night Circus felt magical, and I think that perhaps that's the highest compliment that I could pay to any book that had magic as one of its central focuses. It's very rare to read a book and feel that sense of being transported, and that sense of longing and desire that you wish you could go to that circus. So if you're looking for something that is more of an experience, not so much a hard-boiled hero's journey story or a very linear, this leads to this story. If you're looking for something that's more of an experience, something that may just speak to your inner child that believes and loves magic, I really think that The Night Circus is the read for you. I highly recommend it. It was one of my favorite books that I read in 2011. And in some ways, even though I know the story's finished and it's told, I do kind of hope secretly that Erin Morgenstern finds a way to take us back to the circus again. Thanks very much, guys, for watching, and I'll talk to you later.